In 2019, there was a great movie ever made. According to me, you have your own movies. This is mine. It's called The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind. It's a very interesting movie. If you haven't watched it, please spare some time, go watch it because it doesn't only speak to us, it speaks to us as Africans and it speaks to us relating it with our education system and how better we can perform. But I did watch this movie alone. I watched it with Jordan and Abigail, and we're going to deconstruct some of the life principles we picked from this movie and how we can use them to better ourselves, better our communities, and better the nation at large, and Africa as a continent. So I'll start with Jordan. It was an interesting movie. You can agree with me.
Yes.
Yeah. So, what are some of the things you picked from this movie?
One of the points that I picked from this movie was that there's always somebody who has it worse than you.
There's always somebody who's worse than you. Explain more. Related to the movie.
If you look at the movie, William and his family were really poor.
Yeah.
They didn't have a lot of money. They couldn't afford William's school fees, and they were really going through a lot of hardships. And when you relate it to real life, you can think that you're having a really bad day, like it was during the whole day, you weren't able to do anything productive, or uh, bills are tight, something like that. But you can always keep it at the back of your head that you can be grateful that you have clothes in your bag, food on the table, because there are people out there that don't have that. So you should always keep positive.
Because there is something to be grateful for. As they normally say it, whatever you appreciate, appreciates. And it reminded me of, I think, Confucius, who said he was crying, the man who cried that he had no shoes until when he saw people with no feet. So are you grateful for that one thing that you have? And this is what the movie tried to bring to our attention that at times we are running after so many things and lose sight of that one thing that we have and we need to appreciate in our life. Abigail, you watched the movie, right?
Yeah.
What was your take? What did you pick from the movie?
What I learned is never to give up. When the drought came and William's family wasn't producing any grains or harvesting anything, like the father never gave up on his family. He continued even though the soil was dry, very dry, he still continued. And when it came to supper time, the father got the bowl of portion. So everyone was getting a piece and serves it to the other. The father never got a piece because he was sacrificing for his family.
Never give up. And Abby talks about sacrifice and talks about never giving up. There is always one thing that you want in life. I don't know about it. You know it better than I do. But the underscore principle is, are you willing or what are you willing to sacrifice to have that of which you have envisioned, that of which you desire, that of which you have in life? And in the movie, we see William's father had to sacrifice, go and till the garden. It was hard. It was, in the movie, it talks about how the soil was so hard that he couldn't even dig through. But he didn't give up, regardless of the circumstances, regardless of the sun that was so hot that he endeavored to get up every morning to go and dig because he knows, as we say, there is always a season. That was the season of drought, and he believed there is a season of harvest. The other thing, he sacrificed his own status, his own happiness, his own even wellness to an extent that he had to share the little of portion that they were sharing as a family. He passed it on. He did it, but passed it on to his family members, whom he absolutely knew that they needed it more and more than he did. So, Jordan, yes, what is the second thing that you learned from the movie?
My second point that I picked from the movie is that when you have a goal, you shouldn't stop chasing it until you achieve it. William's goal was to help his father bring water to the land so that they can be able to plant different grains for food because he saw that his family was struggling. So he had the vision of, he was really interested in school. So even when they expelled him from the school, he snuck into the school library to finish some reading on science books and find a way to bring water to the lands. And he realized that he could use a windmill. All the parts that he needed weren't exactly available to him, but he knew how to get them. So he managed to convince his teacher to give him the dynamo from his bike, which is a device that gets energy from kinetic energy. So he got the dynamo, got a water pump from the junkyard. The one item that he needed was his father's bicycle wheel. But his father wasn't ready to give it up.
Yeah.
But he didn't stop pressing his father for it. He even got his friends to take it from him. Even if that failed, he still never lost hope, and his mother helped him get the bicycle wheel from his father. And once he did, he managed to get the components, put them together, and build the windmill and bring water to the light.
There is always one person who will believe in your vision. That's what we get from this. But the people will come to you when they know your vision. And this is what William's mother did. She knew what the son was trying to build. And regardless of all odds, she stood by him. But let's go back to the understanding. When you watch the movie, William went to school with a different perspective. Like when he went to school, he wasn't going to school to solve the water problem that they had. He went to school to study. But along the lines, he had understood the environment. He had understood the situation that was happening in their country, Malawi. And he decided to become the solution provider. His vision was to create the windmill that is going to generate water from underground. Was it easy for him? No. First of all, they did have school fees. The father was not able to pay school fees through until when he was chased away from school. But that did not stop his vision. As Jordan has said, when you have a goal, you have to stick to it until you find it. Every time you have it, circumstances will come, challenges will come, but the question is, how willing are you to manifest that goal? And this is what William shows to us. He was chased out of school, but he still sneaked back into school and went to the library so that he can be able to teach himself. He asked his teacher the simple principle behind the dynamo, the kinetic energy, how does it work, and the teacher directed him to the library. In this modern era, we have artificial intelligence at our display. We have networks, we have phones, we have tablets, we have our laptops. Those are the current universities that we have. Are you able to go and do your research behind the scenes? William went to the library and was asking even the librarian, how can I do this? How can I do this? Where can I find this book? What are you trying to find to build on your vision, to build on your mission, to build on your goal? Is it easy? It won't be easy. You face challenges, you face obstacles, but it's until you know that you need to finish what you started, then that will become the opening mark for you. Abigail, what was your second take from the movie?
My second take is when something gets old, you bring in something new. Just like when before William went to construct a bigger windmill that will produce water to the farm, he realized that when he was calling his dog, the dog passed on because of hunger.
Yeah.
And before the father, like when they were serving out pusher, like I said before, the
William.
William,
Yeah.
sorry, William he picked out some chunk of posho and placed it in his pocket. So the father was like, if you give that food to that dog, I'll choke your throat out.
Yeah.
So the boy really felt bad because he saw like the dog was his like other half of him.
Yes.
So like when the dog passed on, he remembered what the father told him, so he cried. So at the end of the problem, when he found the solution and water started going on the farm and crops grew, he brought another puppy.
Yes. He
So
brought another puppy. Well, that was the most touching part in that story. If you watch the movie, this, as Abia said, this was a dog that William had traveled with in his life. And got to a point that the hunger that was affecting the people, it now went to the animals because William was deterred not to feed that dog. Because besides, they're also lacking food to eat. So how do you get food to feed a dog? And it passed on. But often in time, we have the law of pain. Sometimes you lose the things that are so dear to you in pursuit of the thing that you want to achieve in life. It happens. It happened to William. But that did not stop him. Maybe it gave him that motivation to bring his dream, his vision to fruition. Did he do? Yes, he did. And later, after every success, you go back and do the things that you love most. He went back and adopted a new puppy. So don't let the small things that you think you're going to lose stop you from pursuing and achieving your goal. Stick to your goal, as Jordan said. Have the vision, stick to it until you get it. Abby says, you will lose something. Yes, you will lose it. But are you able to stand and find that of which you want to find and do in life? Probably yes. This is what William showed to us.
Okay, as the rest have shared, I also want to add on because I watched the movie and they brought it out, but I want to emphasize resilience. I really liked the way William was. When he came up with the idea, no one believed in him at first. His friends abandoned him at some point. And then I remember when he went to demonstrate to his father, and the father actually beat him up and told him, I don't want to hear this rubbish again. Did William give up on his dream? No, he didn't. So it shows that when you believe in something, you have to be resilient and go for it. The other thing I want to talk about is I realized the power of exposure, education. William was curious even before he went to school. He used to repair radios before he had education. But when he was able to go to school and go to the library and read a book, I think it was about energy. It helped him improve what was already, I think, in him. And then also curiosity. I think curiosity is very, very important because he kept asking, what can I do if I put this together with this? What will come out? What? And in the end, we see what he came up with. The other thing is when you watch the movie, you realize that he was not just thinking about himself, but the entire community. There was a problem, and he knew he could do something about it, and he fought for it. And we see in the end how the whole community was benefiting. The fact that he was really, really a young boy, I think he was in his early teenage years, but he was able to think like that and have a goal and chase it even when people were not believing in him. It also teaches me something about not writing people off. Sometimes people come to us with ideas and we rubbish them. So you see, at school, the headmaster did not believe in him. They kept chasing in him. The teacher at some point wasn't willing to help him until he sort of blackmailed him. It shows that we need to listen to people. We need to give opportunities to people. We need to not just write off people, but give them a chance, if I could say. Sometimes they have the solutions that we are looking for, but we are quick to rubbish their ideas.
Okay, thank you so much. I would urge you to go back and read the same book. It has a book, and also watch the movie if you can. The movie brings out three fundamental principles. One, stick to your goal until you manifest it. Two, there is something to lose. No pain, no gain. You have to lose something to find something. And three, remember, education is not the end in mind. It's a means towards an end. And let's go to school, find solutions to African problems that we are facing within our communities. And that is what will build us, make us better, be better, and leave Africa a better place, better than how we found it. Thank you for watching. My name is Gardner. Catch you in the next episode. Adios.